Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Firelight, aka CNC, back with another video. Today we got Modern Warfare 2 beta review. I've never done a video like this, but I've been thinking about it. And let me go ahead and give a quick overview. I played this beta for about 15 hours of actual in-game time. I played 98 matches and got about 2,000 something kills. So I put in a decent amount of time playing this beta. And for just a quick summary, quick overview, I thought that it was great. A really great beta, not perfect, but for a beta, or even if this was like the state of the game when it comes out, which it probably will be, I thought it was great. Like I said, 15 hours played. For the Vanguard beta last year, I put maybe 2 hours in, and I couldn't play anymore. I hated it. But this one, I could have kept playing. There's just nothing. I mean, I ran out of time, obviously, and there was nothing left to unlock, and like a lot of guns were locked and stuff like that, so there wasn't too much to do, but I still thought it was great. But before I get into the gameplay side of things, I want to quickly review the user interface, the loadouts, the stuff like that before we get into the gameplay stuff. So let's go ahead and get into that first. Alright, so here's what you see when you open up the game, or at least when you open up the beta. It's, nice and simple. It's not... I wish it was like older Call of Duties where, it's a nice vertical list of all the game modes you can play. The menu's like, ugh, like, this is kind of where the game struggled, which isn't, if it's going to struggle anywhere, at least make it not gameplay related. But yeah, the menu's not my favorite. Navigating's a little weird, but it's not awful. Alright, here's another thing that I'm not really a fan of, and I haven't really been since they introduced it in Modern Warfare 2019, is the amount of attachments and customization that you can have for one gun. And I know that sounds weird to complain about having more customization options, but I mean, look how overboard this is. There's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different like things you can put attachments on, and for each one of those like categories, there's like 5 or 6 attachments you can put on. So there's like thousands of combinations you can make for each gun, and it's just a little overboard. I don't think that's necessary. And if you're at least going to go this way, whenever you're trying to like swap between like, like let's say right now like different stocks and seeing like what they do, the pros and cons, it's not very precise. Like with Cold War, it would say like sprint speed. It would say if you take off a stock, it's plus 30% to your sprint speed and minus 15% to your recoil, something like that. But in this game and back in 2019, Modern Warfare 2019, it doesn't say precisely. So if you're just looking at it at a glance, you may be like, I don't know the difference between like both of these give plus sprint to fire speed. Like I don't know which one's better. And you actually got to look at those little bars where I'll go back and show it. So that's the only indication between like the difference between some attachments, but I think it's a little silly, and I think Cold War did a good job at least telling you the percentage amount and whatnot. This is just me kind of scrolling through all the attachments, which there are a lot of. Here's another thing: the progression to unlock different guns, or at least for the beta, you had to to unlock, let's say, the Hurricane down there in the bottom. You had to use the M4, get it to a certain level, then use the FTAC Recon, get it to a certain level, and then you would unlock the FSS Hurricane. I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. I didn't like it. I think it should just be how it always is, where a certain gun is locked behind at a certain level, and once you hit that level, you unlock the gun. I guess maybe, and I'm assuming all this stuff from the beta is going to be carried over to the real game. I'm assuming that that's to make people use different guns, but I don't think that's a good idea. Here are the tacticals. Nothing that sticks out. All of it was pretty standard. The shock stick's a new one. I think it's a decent idea. It kind of locks down an area for a little bit. Lethals, nothing new to be... Oh, drill charge. That's actually a really good implementation, I think, because it can get rid of campers. If somebody's camping in a corner, you know they're there, you can throw the drill charge at the wall, and it'll go through the wall and sort of like Fuse in Rainbow Six. It'll blow up inside. It'll drill through and then drop grenades in on the other side. Here's another new thing, the Perk Packages. It's another thing I'm not too fond of. At first I thought it was cool, and I thought I liked it, but as the more I played throughout the beta, I realized I don't think it's a good idea. So basically how it works is you get 2 base perks that you'll always have. As soon as the game starts, you spawn in, you have 2 base perks. The 2 to choose from, they're not too high-powered. Notably, there's like Tactical Mask, where you're resistant to like stuns and flashes, and Flak Jacket. It's not called that, but that's what it is, where you're resistant to explosives. But other than that, I probably wouldn't use anything. Maybe overkill if you want to use 2 primary guns. And then it goes to the next perk. So you unlock, so you start with 2 perks, and then as the game goes on, you're getting kills, you unlock your 3rd perk. And if you're using anything other than Quick Fix, you're doing something wrong, because Quick Fix is such a necessary perk where the health regen takes a while. So what Quick Fix does is as soon as you kill somebody, your health regeneration starts immediately, and that's very, very needed. And yeah, this is me just scrolling through all the basic perks. So like I said, there's not much really to choose besides the tactical battle hardened is what it's called, the flak jacket one, and then maybe overkill. So it's like 3 to choose from. Here's the 3rd perk that you get. Nothing really too good here. Maybe fast hands, but like I said, Quick Fix is far and away, I believe, to be the best 3rd perk that you can get here. And then 4th perk, which is far and away the most handy, is the 4th perk you unlock. It's like the best perks in the game. I personally used Ghost and only Ghost because it is so easy to get UAVs. The other teams just spam UAVs the entire game. And that's a problem I have with the perk system, is because, well, I'll talk about that later in the gameplay video, gameplay part of the video. Here are the field upgrades. Nothing too noticeable besides that Dead Silence is probably the best. It makes a little noise when you activate it, which is goofy and they should get rid of. But other than that, I can't think of to use anything but that sounds. Portable radar was good. I used that a little bit. Battle Rage is something new, but it's not too useful. And yeah, definitely Dead Silence is what I would go with. I think that about wraps it up for... No, I think we need to do kill streaks. Because, yeah, kill streaks. So, this is another gripe I have with Modern Warfare type games, is I like their kill streaks, but they're lacking ones that can go indoors. So, what I ran was a gunship, which is the AC-130, a chopper gunner, and a VTOL jet, which are pretty difficult to get. I mean, you're looking at the kill streaks right now. The only one that really goes indoors is the Wheelson. And you could argue the Juggernaut, but if you expect me to get 15 kills in a row just to be some walking slow-ass tank with an inaccurate minigun, like, that's not worth it. So they lack kill streaks that can go inside, which is like from Black Ops 4, you have the Combat Squad from Black Ops 3, you have the Raps from Black Ops 2 and 1, you have the K9 units, like stuff like that that can go inside. So if you have a streak in the air, you can call in a streak on the ground, and that's how you really get a lot of kills. Here's where, like, you check your friends and stuff. I didn't like the layout. Like, it was just weird. Stuff about it was weird. This menu thing was weird. Like, even just putting on the perks you want was kind of weird. Yeah, it was kind of hidden to find. Like, D Brown couldn't find how to turn on custom perks. But at least if they're gonna be weaker in an area, it's gonna be a non-gameplay related thing. Here's another thing: the channels. I made a channel and just added everybody I was playing with. Maybe that's like, I think that was a good idea. An easier way to invite people you play with a lot, maybe talk to them in game chat if you're not partied up. I thought that was a good idea. That's something they did right. But I think that wraps it up for the menu side of the game. So now I'll go ahead and get into the gameplay related part of the video. Alright, so for the gameplay side of this video, and this is where this game thankfully was really shining, I'm going to start off with listing the 4 6v6 maps that were available in the beta. Alright, so there's Farm 18, a really close quarter, fast-paced map. There was Valdera's Museum, more open, longer sightways. There was Mercado Las Almas, I think. Really hectic middle part, but good outside parts for slowing down. And then Brainbur Hotel, which was just a very well-balanced map, played really good pace. So between those 4 maps, they were all very... I liked them all. And that's what is really important, is that these were 4 new maps. These weren't like remakes. They weren't remasters of some older Call of Duty map. These were all 4 unique, original, new maps, and I think they were all great, which is obviously important. But a problem is, and it's not a big problem if you're one of my listeners because you all suck, but for me, like I said, I run VTOL, a chopper gunner, and a gunship, and those are all airstreaks, and a lot of these maps don't have too many open areas. This one, I know it looks like it has a lot of open areas, but if you actually get into a chopper gunner or a gunship, you come to see that there's not too many places where you can actually get kills with that. Neither on the Brainboro Hotel map. That's basically all indoors, so your other 2 options, The other two maps, I already forgot the name of them, Mercado Las Almas, and then the museum one. Those two are good for when you have those airstreaks. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into the, I guess, gunplay. And not much to say. I mean, it feels like Modern Warfare 2019 just slightly toned down on the realism factor, which I think is extremely important because I think they went overboard with making stuff. I mean, you can see the recoil and stuff. Like, it's still there, but it's not as crazy as I think it was in 2019. And this is a gun without a stock, by the way. It feels really great. It feels super smooth, super satisfying to get kills with. Like, this is where the game, I mean, shines. Obviously, graphically, it looks great too. But I mean, that's to be expected at this point. The color, like the color of the screen, it's still kind of grayish. That was kind of a problem I had with 2019. Was there's not a lot of color. It's all kind of grayed out. Like, all the colors grayed out, and it's still like that in this game. But it's not that bad. Like, it doesn't drive me crazy. Modern Warfare 2019, it really drove me crazy for some reason. The soundtrack, like in the game and in the menu, it was the same as the Modern Warfare 2019 one. I don't know if that's just for the beta and they're gonna have an original one for when the game releases. That's what I would actually imagine. But that was just another side note. And then the movement in this game. So they took out slide canceling, but they didn't. There's still a way to do it. It just kind of takes a few steps, and it's not really worth it. If you're not slide canceling, if you're just sliding normally, it is super slow and practically useless. Dolphin diving has a little more use if you really need to cover a little bit of ground and like a quick, you just got to dive out of the way of something. Then dolphin diving is useful, but sliding is, I don't see it having too much use. The sound, so footsteps in this game are so loud, and that is another reason why I say dead silence is the best field upgrade, because you get it pretty quickly. And obviously once you get a kill, if you have it active and you get a kill, it resets. Look at me spraying that body when I got my chopper. So if you get a kill with it while it's active, it resets. So if you can just keep getting more kills and kills while you have dead silence active, you can keep it going for quite a while, and it's very vital. If you're going to be running around like I do, I have auto tac sprint on. I mean, you're going to be making so much noise. You have to make sure you have dead silence if you're going to be like trying to pull off some flanks or stuff like that. So like I said, I'll talk about the perk system now. So you can see on the bottom of the screen there, you can see I just unlocked the Ghost perk. And this game is over halfway over, and I'm on a 13 kill streak, and I just unlocked it. That is a big problem. It basically prevents you, it restricts you. It restricts you from going on big kill streaks early in the game. Because, like I said, no matter if you're going against the worst team in the world, even some of the players on the other team will still be able to get UAVs. And if you don't, if you're showing up on the radar and you're trying to go for a big streak in the other team's spawn, it's going to be tough if they know exactly where you are at. So they changed. So here's the deal: on the last day of this beta, or maybe the second to last day, they changed how the perk system. They sped it up so you can get that fourth perk, that Ghost perk, a lot faster. And I thought that worked out very well, because you can't be waiting until halfway over a game to be getting your fourth perk, that Ghost perk. It is so vital. And even if you're not using the Ghost perk, there's Hardline, there's some other ones, but I mean, really, you should be using Ghost. And it takes too long to get it, so I hope they keep those sped up times, and it wasn't just a thing they were testing out for the beta, because it's very important. Like, you got to be able to stay off the radar if you plan on going for big streaks. Obviously, if you're just throwing your body on like the objective and whatnot, then who cares if you show up on the radar, because you're going to show up anyways when you're capturing a flag or planting a bomb or whatever like that. So it's not that important if you're one of those kind of players. But for me, I like to hang around the spawn of the other team, farm up my streaks, get high kill games, stuff like that. That's my play style. And while we're on the topic of perks, what if I didn't just show you and tell you that I have all 4 of my perks unlocked? How would I know, or how would you know what perks I have unlocked right now? You don't. There is, at least to my knowledge, no way to check while you're in, like right now, if I wanted to check what perks I unlocked, I can't. Sometimes when you're close to unlocking one perk, you'll be able to see which ones you have unlocked, or either you just got to remember. But if you're in, like, getting in a lot of gunfights and you forget, you've been playing for a while, what perks do I have unlocked? There's no way to check. So sometimes I would be in the other team spawn, running around, and the other team would call in the UAV, and I would forget if I have Ghost unlocked or not, and that changes how I play. If I have Ghost, I know I can stay there and stay aggressive. They won't know I'm there. But if I don't have Ghost, I have to back up and like get closer to some teammates because otherwise I'm gonna get singled out. People are gonna know exactly where I am, and it's just gonna be me alone in their spawn. Like they're gonna come hunt me. So that's another problem. They need to be able to, like, you can. That's why I don't like about the time system. You don't, like maybe if you crouch or something, it'll show up your perks, or you can like pause real quick on the menu and it'll show, or maybe just keep them on the screen like at the bottom, like pretty small, like in small font, just so you know what perks you have unlocked at any given moment. So that's an overall general review of the game. I talked about the guns, the perks, the kill streaks, the loadouts, the menu system. The overall flow of this game is really good. There's not like it's not as camper heavy as 2019 was for, there's the drill charges. I think it's just a faster paced game and you can definitely feel it. It's hard to describe it, but if you played Modern Warfare 2019 compared to this beta, you would definitely feel the difference, and I think it's a good difference. So I'm really excited. October 27th is when this game comes out. If you pre-ordered, you get the campaign a week early, so October 20th should be. And I'll definitely be doing a playthrough on that. I might get a face cam, and that'll be my first videos with a face cam on, because Modern Warfare 2019's campaign was fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to this one. For the first time in like my entire life, I'm looking forward to a Call of Duty campaign. So I'll definitely be doing a playthrough on that. Other than that, I think that wraps us up. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I think I did a nice general review of it. Covered everything that needed to be covered, and yeah, good beta. Maybe you guys played it. Leave a comment below if you feel that you liked it, didn't like it, what you didn't like, blah blah blah. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
31.
23. 23 gun streak.